the warning, my voice is like half gone because I was yelling a lot last night about how Pluto wasn't a planet.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's, yeah, I can like barely talk.
Okay.
It's fine. Fine.
Ready?
Yeah.
Matt Damon. Matt Damon.
That was off time.
Matt Damon.
Yeah, well.
Matt Damon.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to an all-new, brand-new, fantastically awesome episode of Kristy Doesn't Know Movies, the podcast.
Ugh.
How you doing?
I'm great. My voice is a bit gone because I was screaming about how Pluto's not a planet.
Okay.
Yeah, so if anyone's listening, Pluto's not a planet. It's a goddamn dwarf planet, and anyone who teaches to children that it's a planet is like just an awful, awful person. Just preaching lies.
That's a fun intro to the episode.
Thanks. I'd like to bring, just thought I'd bring a bit of my own views into the show.
All right. This is part 2 of our Jason Bourne, Matt Damon retrospective. How do you feel about that? We had so much fun last time.
I literally forgot that that's what we did last time.
Me too, until I looked at my show notes.
Oh, all right.
Okay. I guess we're kind of like obligated to finish this.
All right, let's get it over with.
All right. What do you think 2007's The Bourne Ultimatum is about?
Okay. Does this one still have Matt Damon in it, or is that when didn't they bail on him after a while?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, this is the Matt Damon special, so I'm going to assume that Matt Damon is in it. So yeah, Matt Damon is still Jason Bourne.
Uh-huh.
He got his fucking memory stolen again. Can you believe it? Can you believe they've gone back to the same fucking shitty trope?
No way.
So he's forgotten again. Maybe at the end of the last one he forgot. He probably... No, there's been like time. We've missed some time. He wakes up. He doesn't know who he is again. He's like, what the fuck is going on? This seems deja vu-y. Okay, let's go find out what's happening. And so, this one's, he's lost his memory. He has to go back to the CIA. And they're like, great, you're here. Know what? He doesn't even know he lost his memory. He doesn't remember losing/wiping his memory, so he just goes to the CIA on a normal Jason Bourne day.
Okay.
He's like, sup, guys? And they're like, we have a mission for you. And so he goes on this mission with some girl sidekick played by Reese Witherspoon. And so they're on the mission, and so on this mission he like sees something. It's probably something he sees a person, and okay, so they have to go on their mission. It's because there's some like rogue ex-CIA operative who's like doing weird shit. He like got in with probably, what year was this?
2007.
2007. I feel like hackers were a big bad at that time or something. So
Okay.
this ex-CIA operative has gotten in with a group of hackers, and so Jason Bourne and Reese Witherspoon need to team up and stop these hackers. They need to find them and stop them, and so they like swing in on them, and for some reason all the hackers are in one room, as if like fucking internet people have ever met up with each other.
That's a good point.
So, yeah, so all the hackers are in one room with like a lot of Doritos and Mountain Dew, because like that makes sense, but also B, like this movie needed sponsorships. So they swing into this room where all the Doritos and Mountain Dew are conveniently pointed at the camera, and they're like, everybody freeze, nerds, and they have a lot of guns for like taking out fucking like programmers and shit. Like I don't know why you need a SWAT team really to take out all of these people. They don't
Doritos are pretty
seem.
sharp.
I guess I've had Dorito dust in my eye once or twice, and like
Yeah.
it's not good. So anyway, so they like swing in there, and then so Jason like locks eyes with this ex-operative who was like probably one of his partners in the last movie, and
Right.
Jeremy Renner. I know he's in the series, so he locks
Okay.
eyes with Jeremy Renner, a 2007 Jeremy Renner, who's a hacker now, and so they lock eyes, and then Jason just has all these flashbacks, and it's just like a montage of previous movies that goes on for like 5 minutes or so that they didn't have to film any new footage. And so they lock eyes, this montage plays with probably like Time of Your Life is playing. I hope you had the time of your life. And then so Jason's just like, whoa, and he freezes up, and so Jeremy Renner and like two of the other hackers like run off. And then Reese Witherspoon's arresting the other two. And she's like, man, like, what did you do? Why did you let them get away? And he's like, I think I knew that guy or something. And so then, so Matt Damon, he's trying to find Jeremy Renner, but he's also getting his memories back. And so at the end, he totally gets his memories back, and so he's like almost like two people now because he's had like these two lives, both of which at the CIA, and so he's like reborn. He's the born identity.
Alrighty.
That's,
This is the Bourne Ultimatum, by the way, not the Bourne Identity.
fuck.
Moving right along, what do you think 2012's The Bourne Legacy is about?
Okay. Matt Damon was unavailable for this movie, so it entirely focuses on Jeremy Renner. Okay.
Do
He's
tell.
in one of them, isn't he?
I've never seen one of these movies.
I'm
I don't
like,
admit that often, but I have not seen these movies.
I'm almost sure that I've actually seen this movie like severely hungover in a theater once. So,
It sounds terrible.
and I'm pretty sure like after the movie I was like, that movie blows, and the guy I saw it with was like, but I thought you like Avengers and Jeremy Renner was in it. I'm like, fucking who?
Jeremy
And
Renner's like
that's,
the worst Avenger.
I'm gonna hold on to that because most people say Vision is, so I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna fucking never let you forget that you said Vision's not the worst Avenger.
He's not. Okay, let's not make this about Marvel as much as you'd like it to be. What do you think 2012's The Bourne Legacy is about?
Oh, 2012. Okay, yeah, then I definitely didn't see this movie. Anyways, okay, so Matt Damon was unavailable for filming, so they went back to this like hacker theme with Jeremy Renner. And so Jeremy Renner, even though he had just in the last movie betrayed the CIA, at the end of that one, he actually ended up being, it was a good hacker group, and so they got everything mixed up, and that hacker group is being framed. So now this hacker group has joined the CIA. And so Jeremy Renner is now the action guy again because he had absolutely no right to be touching computers. And so now he's back into action, like doing kicks and gun tricks and like saying one-liners. He has to take on 2012.
Yep.
Who was America mad at in 2012?
The Mayans,
China.
I think.
China. Okay, so yeah, there's, I feel like they couldn't shake that like tech motif kind of thing. So there's now they've found the actual bad hacker group who is in China. And so they're operating under the guise of esports organizations, and so they must be stopped. So Jeremy Renner's in the field. He goes to Beijing and he needs to Shanghai. He goes to Shanghai and he needs to take all these people down. I'm sure there's a lot of like cool landscapes and so he does that. He again busting in, guns blazing to a
Yeah.
fucking nerd hideout because God forbid they press Control Alt Delete or something, right? So he's got to be fast on the trigger to shoot their fingers off before they can typity type anymore. Meanwhile, back at the CIA, Jack McBrayer is his his guy feeding him all the information.
It's Jack McBrayer.
Whatever.
He's America's sweetheart.
Jack McBrayer is feeding fucking Jeremy Renner all the information. Shut the fuck up. I'm pretty sure I've seen a movie like this.
You're insane.
Anyways, then it turns out Jack McBrayer is actually the villain. They Tarantino twisted this. No, they M. Night Shyamalan twisted this, right? So, Jack McBrayer, however you say it, it turns out that he actually just wanted Jeremy Renner out of the country as far away as he could be because he's gonna like launch some nuclear missiles. And he was on the original hacker team. And so it turns out that the original hacker team wasn't actually a good hacker team. They were evil in the first place. And now Jack McBrayer is going to launch a missile at the Pentagon. And so Jeremy Renner is now tasked with hijacking a jet so that he can get back to America in time and blow the fuck out of that missile while it's midair, so that it doesn't hit the Pentagon.
Wow.
Yeah. It starts off pretty slow. Not a lot of action. There's a motorcycle chase scene in there. With a stunt double.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our final movie of the episode and the series. What do you think 2016's Jason Bourne is about?
I think that's the one I just described.
This is like their self-titled album. It's just called Jason Bourne.
Yeah, I think, now that I think about it, I think that's the one with Jeremy Renner. Okay, so everything I just said, replace Jeremy Renner with Matt Damon. All right, now let me tell you
He's back.
Now let me tell you the real movie with Jeremy Renner.
Okay.
Fuck, I just said that one. I can't.
You want to just leave it there and just call it a,
Well, let's
call it a
say,
day?
okay, so let's just say I've said these movies out of order. So now the one I just described is actually 2016's Jason Bourne. And now let me describe to you what actually happened in, what was the last one I just described?
The Bourne Legacy,
Now let me
2012.
tell you what happened actually in the Bourne Legacy.
Okay.
All right, this one's a prequel. So this one has an aged down Matt Damon. And
Is that with computer technology or makeup?
a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Okay.
Heavy prosthetics to age him down, but it wasn't good enough, so they relied on computers as well. Anyways, aged down severely, Matt Damon plays Jason Bourne fresh out of university. So he's just graduated with like, I feel like he's got like some shitty degree that like doesn't really communication. So he's got the same degree as
Okay.
me. And so he gets approached. Is like graduation day. I'm sure, like, to give him some backstory, his parents are dead, so it's graduation day and he steps off the stage and like everyone else is being hugged by their loved ones and he's just alone. And then this like guy in a suit kind of like steps out of the shadows, and he's like, "Hello, Jason. We see that you've just recently graduated. We'd like to offer you an opportunity." Which anyone who's gonna hire you straight out of university, you should probably run from that. But anyway, so he's like, "Yeah, that seems legit." So he ends up getting sucked into the world of like the CIA, and so they are just like, we're gonna train you to be like a field operative. So this is Jason Bourne's origin story. Okay,
Okay.
so it goes through him training, and then he's just like an office worker. He's basically like a temp, like a secretary is what he ends up being. And so he overhears like he overhears his boss being like, "Oh, there's like, because this is set in the past, America was probably mad at Russia at that time, so he overhears his boss being like, "Oh, there's like some Russians stealing information. We gotta go stop them. They operate out of this skeezy bar, so let's go stop them." Because yeah, that's what's going on. So Jason Bourne is just like, "I want to know the action," and so he does his own little hideout thing, and so like the CIA busts in there, guns blazing, shooting at nerds again, and like something goes wrong and they like miss them, and they get like the nerds get to run out the back. And then so Jason's just like standing there because he wanted to be part of the action, and so he ends up catching them. And then so his boss is like, "Wow, good job. I'm not even mad that you were like totally listening in on top secret information that like you should be fired for, but I'm gonna praise you instead and give you a promotion." And then like that's basically the end of the movie. It wasn't a very good one. Probably people who like any of these movies, that was definitely their least favorite because it was just like an origin story. But because it was an origin story, it couldn't be nearly as epic as like the other ones, right? Because like he had to
Okay.
start off like small, so they went from like building up stuff, bringing in like A-list celebrities like Jeremy Renner and Jack
Who?
McBrayer,
Jeremy Renner.
and then and then like they went, and they just had aged down Matt Damon fighting like nobody, and there were like barely any explosions. There were no motorcycle chases. So anybody who liked the series was just like, "Well, this is lame." And like in fairness to the writers, like you can't just go in guns blazing on like your first day on the job. So like they set themselves up for failure.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
Yeah.
You know what I find interesting? At the time of this recording, the studios are talking about doing another one. So I think we'll be talking about our old pal Matt Damon for years to come.
Yeah, because it definitely won't be Jeremy Renner after his recent scandal.
Alrighty, folks. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.